Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantel Francis, and we are here to talk about Love Island UK Season 7, Episode 10. Yes. So this wasn't that eventful of an episode. I mean, we have an episode every day, so there's only so much that they want to show, and they want to leave cliffhangers and keep the momentum going. But it was enjoyable of an episode, absolutely. But if you haven't started or done so already, rather, can you please subscribe while I change the logo here, because we're not talking about Big Brother, we're talking about Love Island. So this episode, we return back to basically the two bombshells entering or being in the villa. So we have Millie and Lucinda, who we talked about a little bit yesterday, who are both absolutely stunning. They're both blonde. They're both everybody's type while the girls are out for brunch. So the girls are coming back to the villa now, and they are walking hand in hand, all in solidarity to go and face the men and these women. So they kind of all walk in at the same time, but they were, for the most part, super friendly. It seemed like Faye didn't necessarily say anything to Lucinda, but then she sees Millie, and Millie and her have a little hug when she comes in. So they were quite friendly, even though a lot of them are quite scared at these women coming in and taking their guys. So Rachel is probably the most scared because she's she's Brad's type to a T. She's Brad's type. And she's not wrong, because Brad, even the narrator was like, Brad couldn't take his jaw off the ground. His jaw was just like, ugh. And I did think that he looked like he recognized her. And so that's how much he was just shocked by her stunningness. And she is absolutely stunning for sure. I don't know if I find her personality to be that interesting. She's very sweet, very kind, but she doesn't have, for me, anything that really pops, from what I've seen so far. But she's gorgeous, and I'm willing to give her a chance, and hopefully she's going to come in and shake things up for the better, hopefully. So Millie and Lucinda are having a little chat, and they think that Millie says that right off the bat she likes Liam and Toby, and Lucinda said Brad and Toby. And then they both think that Aaron is very hot and has really great conversations, which is very true. So we learn the girls all talk, and we learn that Lucinda's from Brighton and Millie is from Essex. And so I believe that Kaz is from Essex, and I can't remember who else is from Essex. But they definitely were super excited that there's another Essex girl that was going to be part of their little girl gang. Hi, Netha. How are you? Thanks for joining. Did you enjoy the episode? I thought it was actually it's pretty good. But I didn't write very many notes about it, so it's going to go very quickly, I think. So Rachel asks the girls to give us your top three. Rachel just goes right in right away. What am I working with here? Am I going to have to fight for my man? And they both kind of shrugged off the question a little bit, which I wish that they answered it. I did want to hear what they were thinking and what they were going to say in front of the women. But instead, they're like, well, I need to take some time to get to know them. I don't know them very well. I haven't had much time with them. And it was pretty diplomatic of an answer. Fine, it might be true. But there's definitely going to be 3 guys that you can say that you had your initial draw to. So I wish they had said something. Hi, Natalie. Is Rachel only focusing on Brad, and should somebody tell Rachel she is upset? And should somebody tell Rachel she is upset? Well, Rachel is definitely only focusing on Brad, but I also don't think that there's anybody else in the villa that she's interested in. It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like any of the guys are interested in her. So I don't think that anybody's going to care that much that she's upset, like Brad or any of the other men, because we do have a conversation later with Brad where he's like, well, she's a pretty girl, but she's not completely my type. And so we knew that was coming when people were coming for me saying oh, well, Brad, she's just being insecure. It's Brad's not into her. If he's so willing, as soon as a new girl comes in, to be Rachel's not really my type. She's pretty, but she's not my type. Like, he was never into her in the beginning at all. Never. It was better, but I think tonight's episode will be so much better. Yeah, I think tonight's is going to be good because there's going to be some fallout, some tears. It's going to be messy. I just want some hot guys to come in and like put these guys in the hot seat a little bit because they really didn't have to worry about anything. The only person that's gone home, other than Shannon, was Chugs, and Chugs hadn't really been in the villa. So I want these new guys to feel the heat a little bit because they just have had all the power at the right time. And I don't know if it's necessarily fair that the women have had to feel like the pressure. So there's 2 women coming in, 2 of them are going to be left vulnerable, which is definitely unfair. Hopefully they'll bring in 2 new guys that will do the same thing, and only 1 couple or something will go home. Like I hope that the women get another chance because I just don't think that they're doing it in a balanced way that's very fair. So hopefully these producers are not going to let me down here. Yeah, so Jake was saying with the lads that there's nothing there with him and Liberty. And so he's just ready to jump ship as well. And it's just kind of like, it's just a little unsettling. Because I don't think these guys are a big catch. And so the fact that they just can like have so much choice is kind of annoying. Like, they're not that great. I think the guys should get replaced one after the other, starting with Brad, then Jake. Yes, get them out. Brad, Jake, Luke, Toby. Aaron can go last because I think that he brings the most substance as a partner or as a boyfriend. I think that, I can see him in a real relationship. I feel like the others are, for different reasons, aren't going to find, I don't think, the forever person in there. But I think that Aaron potentially could find a lasting relationship. I do think he has that more than the other guys in the house. So Millie is actually really happy that the girls were so welcoming. Sharon and Aaron, though, have a little bit of a chat, and she was trying to play it off as too cool, and Aaron clocked it. He's like, yeah, she's saying, I don't care. Oh, I don't care. And Aaron's like, I think you're saying I don't care a lot because you do care. And I think that is true. I think that she's trying to appear like she's easygoing and she doesn't want to be super overbearing and she doesn't want to be like, don't talk to my man, and have any of that kind of territorialism. But it's for him, I think Aaron, he was already looking for a reason to break off with her. So I think that he's just like, I think you do care. And I'm not into you. I think it just reinforced that he was getting the ick from poor Sharon. Could we see some surprising relationships after the show? After the show, I mean, I think Lucinda is going to be dating somebody for sure. I don't know if it's anybody that's in the villa right now, but I think that when she's in this Love Island world, I think that she's going to find other connections with some other of the, at least a Love Islander, like past player. She's definitely very pretty. And I think that, anybody from previous seasons that are watching the season are going to be like, if she's single when she comes out, I'm going to go in for her. But I do expect her to make it to the end with whomever she decides that she wants to focus on. So, because what I think is going to happen, I think that she's going to end up picking Brad, and then her and Brad will last a bit, but then she'll learn that Brad is kind of bland, and she might get her head turned eventually. And since all the guys are into her, she kind of has her pick of the litter. So maybe Brad will go home then. At the hands of Lucinda. Wouldn't that be sweet justice? She reminded me of when Melinda kept on saying she didn't care about Marvin on Too Hot to Handle. Yes, it is similar to that. But Melinda caught herself more quickly. She was like, I'm probably saying I don't care, but I do care. Like, she kind of in the confessionals was admitting that she was pretending like she didn't care, but she actually did. I don't think that Sharon is even allowing herself to admit that she actually does care, because she's right now in the stage of potentially getting hurt. And so I don't think that she likes to get hurt in relationships. I don't think she likes to be vulnerable. And her lack of vulnerability, and she kind of pulls up this wall, and she's kind of acting like she's tough, and she's like wants these flashy cars, and she's going to go and stand up for her, like, you know, yell at Hugo. And so I think that what Aaron is seeing as being a fiery girl, I think is also him recognizing that she's not really self-aware and compassionate, and that she has some walls up, and she might have been hurt in the past, but she hasn't maybe dealt with some of these hurt issues. And so she's kind of like, it's kind of like a wounded, like stray dog, you know, like she's not a stray dog, but like just like a wounded animal. And like they always have their backup, and they're just ready to attack. But like, you know, you want them to be gentle and warm and welcoming. And so I think that he's noticing that she has a big front, and he's not really into that. He wants somebody that's a little bit more nurturing and open. So we're going to get to that part shortly. But yeah, in my head, like at that point where Aaron is done with this relationship, he's not into it anymore, but he hasn't really said anything to her specifically yet. So Liam and Faye have a little bit of a conversation. And Liam is just like trying to play it cool, and so is Faye. Faye's like, yeah, so like, oh, these new girls are great, huh? Like, how are you feeling? Like, do you like one more than the other? You know, trying to get as much information out of him as possible without coming out and looking desperate or looking like she cares. Like, she's trying to be very easygoing. And he says that, well, yeah, Lucinda's probably my type. We know Lucinda's your type. Like, are you, like, yeah, we know that. So I've got a text, and Millie gets a text saying that she could choose 3 lads of her choice to prepare dinner for her. So she's one for a starter, one for the main course, and one for dessert. And then Lucinda gets the same text, and she's going to be choosing 3 men as well. So Millie chooses Aaron for the starter, Liam for the main course, and Hugo for dessert. And then Lucinda chooses Brad for the starter, Hugo for the main course, and Aaron for dessert. So Aaron and Hugo both got chosen by both people. So I wonder why neither of them chose Hugo or Toby, because Toby was who they both had said at the very beginning that they really liked a lot. So I'm curious as to why that happened, and they didn't still go along with that. I wonder if it was pushed by the producers. I don't know. I'm curious as to why Toby wasn't involved in that conversation. Like, are they trying to force Toby and Kaz to stay together? Because optically, it wouldn't be great if Toby jumped ship for a woman that was not of color. It wouldn't look great. Kind of like another Arabella situation. I don't know. I'm just curious, because they both said that they liked Toby, and neither of them picked Toby. If you guys have any insight, let me know what you think. So Aaron, for his starter, makes some mozzarella with tomato, basil, and Parma ham. It's a very typical, with the balsamic. It's a very typical starter. Quite good. You can't really mess it up. So good on you, Aaron. And well, their conversation though flowed a lot better than his brunch with Sharon. I was just like, man, like Sharon's just trying to play it too cool, that she's not being vulnerable at all. And unfortunately, Aaron seems to be quite a hyper masculine man. Even though he's kind and soft, he does seem very, very masculine. Like he there's some male roles that he seems to adhere to. And so with Sharon being so hyper masculine herself with her command, unfortunately, I don't think that balance is going to be working with Aaron. It's too hard for him. He wants somebody more soft. And so these women, both of these women, are coming off as a lot more soft, a lot more flirty, a lot more kind. And Sharon's just a little bit more hard, a little more edgy, a little bit more brash. So comparing them, I can see that he feels a little bit more kind towards these 2 new women than he does towards Sharon. So this is where Brad says to Lucinda that, you know, Rachel's a pretty lass, but she isn't his type. And then he just goes on to talk about how gorgeous Lucinda is and how his jaw dropped and how, you know, he's beautiful eyes and she thought they were dark brown, but then they're green. And she's like, wow, like he really was laying it on quite thick with the amount of compliments that he was giving Miss Lucinda. Deserved, but like he definitely wasn't giving any of these compliments to Rachel. Not a one. After that little portion, Aaron is definitely a fan of Millie, and obviously Lucinda is liking Brad for sure. So next, Lucinda's doing the main course with Toby. With Hugo. I don't remember what they had. I didn't write it down, and then I didn't rewind. So if you could remind me what they had for their main course, that would be great. So yeah, Lucinda likes a little bit of class, and he finds that Hugo is really classy and really carries himself well. And he does have like an air of like sophistication about him, but he also, this is to me, God bless him, he seems like a lovely person. He is, to me, too bored, like he's too nice. Like, I don't know, he's just a nice guy. He's my friend. Like, it doesn't, for me, pull me in and make me want to like kiss him or make out with them or cuddle with them, or like he doesn't have that for me at all. And so I'm assuming that that's kind of what the other women are experiencing, is that they don't have this sexual drive towards him. They just have like a friend vibe towards him, and they care about him and they want him to find love and success in a relationship, but not with them, because he's not giving off something that they would need to want to be in a relationship with them. So I'm with the women here. But Lucinda really, really likes him and doesn't like, how can somebody be too nice? It doesn't make any sense. I think she'll figure it out sooner than later, but I get what the women are saying. Millie loves the fact that Liam is 6'6" and thinks that he's very fit. And Liam tells Millie that Faye isn't his type. And so she was a little bit surprised by that, but it's like, we know that he doesn't like Faye at all. It seems like most of the men don't particularly like Faye. I think kind of like Sharon, Faye has a little bit of that wall up as well. And so maybe this is kind of where they got stung with the fake comments from Hugo. It's because they do have a mask that they're putting on, whether it's the plastic surgery mask, whether it's like I don't care mask, tough girl mask, Teflon mask, like they just don't seem fully genuine. They might be looking for a real connection, but they're not seemingly willing to open their heart and be vulnerable. And that's the most important thing if you want to make a true connection with somebody. So I think they're both lacking in that, and whatever reasons, the insecurities that they have to make them want to get into plastic surgery may be some of the reasons as to why they're not easily able to connect with people in the villa so far. Maybe. So Toby, they tag team dessert, Hugo and Aaron. So it didn't really seem like an actual dessert. Like I saw some whipped cream. I saw maybe some strawberries and some chocolate. I couldn't really make out what else was on that plate. It didn't seem like it was like a full dinner. It just seems like they put some sweet things on a plate and put some whipped cream. So they were going to be sharing these desserts. So Aaron is with Millie for dessert and Hugo is with Lucinda, if I am correct here. Just kidding. Aaron's with Lucinda and Hugo is with Millie. So one thing that I think was really bad for Sharon, because Sharon's in the hot seat and she doesn't know, and like even in the peanut gallery, she's hanging with the other Islanders and just is like, yeah, like I feel good. Like I'm not gonna stress out over these two women. Like they're gorgeous, but like I don't think that they have like what we have, and like they don't have the chemistry that we have. And I'm just like, oh boy, Sharon's in for a rude awakening, because Lucinda says to Aaron, which is not what Aaron wants to hear, when his girl has already embarrassed him and is showing up as like being a fiery girl, which he's not interested in. And then this new girl comes into the house and says that his girl hasn't even said a word to her. That is not a good look, Sharon, because he wants you to be kind and open and vulnerable. And if you're being kind of like a standoffish girl, he's just not into that. So even more worrisome for poor Sharon. So yeah, and Aaron also said that she's a bit too fiery for him. And she's like, oh, okay, interesting. So after his date with Lucinda, Aaron is quite smitten. He's like, she is a different kind of gravy. Like he definitely is very interested in her. I mean, I guess she's so beautiful, but she just didn't really seem like she had that much sauce, considering she's saying like different kind of gravy. She's like sauce, like I don't know. She's cute for sure, beautiful, most stunning girl in the villa, sure, but she just didn't seem that interesting. I felt that Millie was more interesting. I don't know if you guys agree with me. So the girls, though, Lucinda and Millie, likes all of the people that they went on a date with. So I still think that Lucinda's going to choose Brad, but I don't think anybody's going to choose Hugo. I'm sorry, Hugo. I wonder if Millie will choose Aaron or Lucinda choose Aaron, like one of the two. I really, really wonder. I don't know. Tonight's episode is going to be fiery. It is going to be fiery. So I don't know who said this, but somebody, probably Brad, but she is sublime, made from the gods is what the descriptors of Lucinda is. And Aaron wants to go talk to Sharon, so he calls her over for a chat, and she's very confident when she goes to sit with him, and she kind of still sits in his arm like they're dating still. And he's like, I didn't like how you reacted yesterday, and that's why I was vexed, and these are red flags, and not sure if it will work long term, and he doesn't want to continue. And she didn't really hear that correctly the first time. And he's like, no, I want to end this now. Oh, and the kids thing he brought up. And she didn't really defend it, but she did ask in the end. She was like, well, like, you know, this is to completely end it when this is the first time we're having a conversation about it. It seems a little abrupt, but to me, Aaron's made up his mind. He's got the ick. He's done. I think he's done. I don't think there's any salvaging that. I wonder if these two new girls will be allowed to choose, or will the guys be choosing? Well, no, I think that the girls are going to choose. Two girls, because the two girls are going to be left vulnerable. I think that another two guys are going to come in, and then two girls, then a guy and a girl will be gone, I think, or something like that. Something like that. I think, though, that they'll choose who they want, and two women will be left vulnerable. And then maybe we'll be voting on one of the two to go home, or maybe they'll bring in two guys and one girl will go home, depending on one girl and a guy. So, but yeah, I think someone's going to be two girls are going to be left vulnerable. Hi, Annette. Oh my God, I'm actually completely done right now. There's nothing left in the episode. But if you watched last night Love Island Season 3 of the US, I'll be going live in 5 minutes to talk about that. So you can jump on that link in a couple minutes. It's ready to go, so you can log in, and then I'm going to log out of this one and then on to that one, and we're going to talk about the premiere episode. So that will be fun too. It was a fun episode. If the new girls end up choosing and none of them pick Aaron, I wonder who he will end up with. So they will choose. Yeah, so the two new girls will choose, actually. No one's going to go home. And then maybe the guys will choose after that. Yeah, you guys are right. And they may or may not include Lucinda and Millie, or you know what I mean? So I think that two girls left vulnerable, and then the guys will choose in a couple days. That's my thoughts. That's my real thought. Yay! How can I watch Love Island US from here? Let me take a look into that for you, because I just get it on regular cable. Let me find out if actually someone in the chat might be able to help you. Am I doing the Bachelor in Paradise cast yet? Not yet. I'll wait until maybe the week, but when it's like officially dropped, because right now it's still spoilers, because it's kind of, some of the people from Katie's season, and so then we'll know that they didn't win. So once we get closer to the end of Katie's season, yeah, I'll probably do a cast reveal. Tanya and I will get into, I really am excited for Bachelor in Paradise. I'm not really excited for Wells being a host. I think that he's going to be the MC. Not really down with that if that's true. But I am interested in the rotating comedians and celebrities. I'm interested in that as long as they keep it goofy and kind of light and silly. So we'll see. But obviously we'd love you to join us on all these accounts. So definitely right after this, we're going to be doing Love Island USA season 3, episode 1. What day is it today? Thursday. And then we'll repeat this tomorrow on Saturday with Entertainment. Sarah and I talk about Survivor South Africa, episode 6. I think it's episode 6. And then we're going to do on Monday instead. We're going to be doing live after the episode. Tanya will talk about The Bachelorette. So it will be Tuesday night at 8 or 9. It's going to be Monday after the episode. So I'll see if I can post the link early so you guys can get your early reminders. And that is what is going down. The first episode is on Instagram. Really? I mean, I'm not sure. I have regular cable for that, so I'm able to find it. But I'll see if there's a link for people in the UK or outside of the US and Canada. I'll see what I can do. So Annette, if you can maybe find me on Instagram or Twitter and just like send me a message, and I'll give a try to see if I can find something for you. Team Kayla and Corey, let's go. All right, Louis, come join me on my next stream. I'm going to be logging out of this one and then jumping in on Love Island USA season 3, episode 1. And you know the drill, guys. Just subscribe. It just makes things so much easier. Please just do it. I love you for it. No, thank you. Thanks for joining. We'll be seeing you tomorrow for our other quick recap of Love Island UK. We're talking about UK here. This was UK. And I think tomorrow's going to be a little bit longer and a little bit more fiery of an episode. So I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. Thanks, everybody. See ya in 5